We probably get a lot more.
No. I want to know why it takes till Friday to find out what your candidate means on Tuesday. Every time one of these issues comes up, he says he was quiet. Let's get an SOT. Let's take a look.
Right.
Here's your candidate, your client, talking about how he spent a life hunting. Let's watch this one.
Sure.
I purchased a gun when I was a young man. I've been a hunter pretty much all my life.
Has he been a hunter pretty much all his life?
No, he has hunted throughout his life, but I think that's one of those statements where, upon reflection, I think the governor probably would agree with me, as others would, that could have been more accurately phrased. The governor has hunted throughout his life, but the term lifelong hunter, for those people who are lifelong hunters...
Like, why did he say he marched with Martin Luther King?
Why
does he say these things?
Chris, I'm going to try and answer this.
I'm not accusing you of dishonesty.
No, I know that.
I'm accusing him of what looks like resume inflation. Well, it sounds like if I marched with Martin Luther King, I would damn well be proud of it. If I didn't march with Martin Luther King, I wouldn't say so. And he has said so. If I was a lifelong hunter, I would admit it. I wouldn't claim I was if I wasn't. Let's take a look at this other one. You got another problem here.
No, let me answer the first one, Chris. Chris, let me answer the first one.
No.
Let me answer the first one.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you're using his words like accusation and why did he say it and what did he say. Look, I think that everybody has to have a certain realization that when you're on the campaign trail, things are said that aren't necessarily accurate reflections of the exact precise thing that happened. And when if you look at the clip that David showed in his package, what we have is a bunch of quibbling over the word saw. Well, you know, there are a lot of times where people go out there on the campaign trail and they say, I stood with the men on the picket line, when they didn't actually stand on the picket line. So what we have is this quibbling and this agonizing dissection of every single word. And then you said, did he march with him? Now we're going to have a big argument over whether or not the word with is exactly accurate or precise.
What else can you mean by
so now when we say whether or not you're a lifelong hunter,
you are using a lot. Look, I'm not going to get into this argument. Let's take a look at another example. Let the people watching, if they see a pattern here. Here he is talking about his endorsement from the NRA on Meet the Press.
I told you what my position was and what I did as governor, the fact that I received the endorsement of the NRA.
Did he receive the endorsement of the NRA?
No, he did not receive the official endorsement of the NRA. I think what the governor was trying to...
What are we to make of these words, then? I saw, I marched with, I was a lifelong hunter, I got the endorsement. When you put it all together, there's a pattern here of resume inflation. Not outright lying, just building a little bit into something really big. Maybe his father did march in a parade that had something to do with King. He marched at some other parade that was somewhat affiliated with King. He didn't see it. He certainly didn't march himself, even though he said he did. He didn't. He wasn't a lifelong hunter, although he may have gone out with a gun at once or twice in his life. I mean, this is deceiving information. It's suggesting that he can't come straight on the simplest things. No one would have voted against him if he hadn't claimed he marched with Martin Luther King. No one would have voted against him if he hadn't claimed to be a hunter. No one would have voted against him if he didn't claim to have the endorsement, which he couldn't substantiate. He says things that aren't necessary to say, and they turn out not to be true. That's the problem. Explain.
Well, I think what you have is the governor trying to, you know, when you have these live interviews and you have these, these press gaggles and media availabilities that take place all throughout the campaign trail, I think what you have is an effort for the governor to share information about his record, where he stands, and what he hopes to do for the American public as far as public policy. And then on the flip side of that, as you know well, in this YouTube world and this world where blogs and transcripts are, there's this agonizing scrutiny and pressure put on every single word that's said, and then it's getting matched against a past statement, and then there's this another whole entire dissection of whether or not he meant it, what he meant by it, and it happens with me all the time, Chris. I deal with you on shows like this. I deal with reporters all day long on the phone, and they all want to say, they all want to take a 1,000-word transcript, they want to look at one word, and they want to dissect it. And very oftentimes what happens is that in an effort to share a viewpoint, an effort to get across a policy viewpoint, and talk about the governor's, for example, the Second Amendment and the NRA endorsement, the NRA went out and did a lot of work for Governor Romney in 2002 when he was running for governor, and the governor made a connection where that was essentially the NRA and members of the NRA endorsing him. Was it an official endorsement? No. Was that an entirely 100% precise statement that the governor made? No. But Kevin, what we can do is again share the sentiment.
You're doing a good job. You're doing your best. But let me tell you something. When you apply
well, you keep throwing these pitches. You keep throwing these pitches on the inside of the plate. You know.
No, I throw them hard and fast and right over the plate. Let me ask you this. It's called hardball, not curveball. Let me ask you this. If you're applying for a job and you make these little mistakes that he seems to be making, and somebody discovered it who was a headhunter and went through the thing, well, here's what I'd say. Well, did he march with Martin Luther King? That's pretty impressive. Well, actually, he didn't. Did his father? Well, actually, his father wasn't in the same parade. He was in another parade. Oh, did he actually? Was he a lifelong hunter? Well, actually, he wasn't. Did he get the endorsement? Well, actually, didn't. After a while, the actuallys, he didn't keep you from getting the job. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I see where you're
going with that.
No, that's where I'm going, and that's where I'm going to end up. Thank you, buddy. It's great to have you on.